You know, the challenge is you got to rebuild with a lot of new players who will be younger, have new roles, less experience, and how do they respond, you know, to these new roles? And I've been pleased so far with the way our players have embraced the new roles, the new responsibilities. We're going to be a work in progress, and that's going to be critical to our success.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the Nick Saban Show, brought to you by Truckworks, along with the head coach of the Crimson Tide. I'm Chris Stewart. Coach, congratulations. A great 42-21 victory over Ole Miss today.
Well, it was a good win for us. They have a good team, a really good offensive team. I was really proud of the way our guys competed in the game. I really think the first half was, you know, phenomenal in terms of, you know, the way we moved the ball offensively, the way we stopped one of the most potent offenses in the country. I think we got 3 fourth down stops that were huge, you know, in the game. You know, but a big thing that we convinced our players of, they had gone on fourth down 14 times in 3 games, and nobody ever stopped them. And I said, our mindset on third down has to be, they're going to go for it on fourth down, so we have to play these plays. And if there was anything that you could be a little disappointed in, probably didn't finish the game like you really like to, and the way we probably need to in the future. So that's something we need to work on.
May not have finished the way you wanted, but started the way you wanted it. And among those things, Coach, the crowd into it. A packed house, more than 100,000 there, and they made a lot of noise right from the beginning.
Oh, they were great. I mean, I asked the crowd to get into the game. They got into the game. They caused a couple penalties, and I think they probably were late off the ball on some of these fourth down plays that we stopped them because of the noise. Makes it much more difficult for the offense when you have that kind of noise. We had a great crowd today, and they made a huge impact. I told them they were part of the team, and they did their part.
Let's take a look at those first half highlights.
To the yard, running back, Ely finds an opening, gets stacked up. I don't think he got there. I don't believe he made it. I don't believe he made it. Alabama's Jordan Battle came through, helped by others, and they took it away from Ely. Inaudible, claps his hands a second time. Here now he steps back, looks, throws into the end zone, touchdown, Alabama. Second reception of the year for a touchdown, and Alabama goes 16 yards on that play to take the lead on the Ole Miss Rebels. The quarterback is under center. He'll send Billingsley in motion, who will then return to the left of the formation. Here's the give. Robinson, touchdown, Alabama! And the Tide takes a 2-touchdown lead over the Ole Miss Rebels. Again, they are at their own 31. Down and 1. Ely in motion. Here's the toss outside. Bama's 2-0. Got him. Going down. Henry. 2-0. Got him. What a great play. And Alabama holds again on downs. That was spectacular. Quarterback under center. Motion to Leo Billingsley. Here's the play action fake and open. Wide open. Cameron Latu. Touchdown. Alabama. They sold out. They sold out to stop the running back Robinson. 2:47 to go in the half. First and 10 Rebels. Snoop Connor, the running back. Quarterback under pressure. Hit as he throws. Intercepted. Malachi Moore then drops the ball. But no, the referee says that it's going to be a fumble, and it's going to be Alabama ball. Bama leads 21-0, threatening again. Here's the snap, the give, Robinson, touchdown Alabama! Brian Robinson a yard away, and the Tide is on top 27-0.
Coach, 28-0 at the half. Great way to start the game.
No, it was a great way to start the game, and I think some critical factors in the game was, we got off the field on third down. We had a couple fourth down stops on defense, so they only had 109 yards total in the first half, which is better than I actually anticipated that we would play against them. And we kept the ball on offense. B-Rob had like 79 yards in the first half, but we kept the ball. And it was our plan to run the ball in this game because of their defensive structure and how they played. And they dropped 8 guys a lot, so it made it harder to throw. And Bryce was very efficient, at taking what they gave. We knew we weren't going to make as many explosive plays in this game, but he kind of take what the defense gave him, and that was good enough to keep a lot of drives going.
We're just getting started. Stay with us right here on the Nick Saban Show.
The Nick Saban Show is brought to you by the University of Alabama, where legends are made, and by Coca-Cola. Together tastes better.
Coach, Tide fans love hearing what your message is at halftime.
Well, we went into the game with the idea that we could not let them dictate the game. That's one of the things that they love to do with their tempo offense, and is to dictate the tempo of the game and get the other team kind of on the heels. So, we wanted to dictate the game by doing what we were doing on offense and making plays on defense on third down. So the message was everybody has to challenge themselves to get the mental energy and intensity to play 60 minutes in the game like a 15-round fight where you cut the guy and then you got to work the cut. So we finished the game like we need to finish the game. So we did. I thought, we took a right down in the third quarter, but then they put some drives together on us defensively, which we made some mistakes on. And, when you get ahead in the game, we had a different philosophy in this game. We played everything in nickel. Most of the time we played nickel, we played dime on third down. We didn't want to get in the substitution game with them. So we just played the same personnel the whole time. Well, in the end of the game, when they started passing more, we would have been better off if we'd have had dime in the game. But we hadn't practiced dime all week because we just said we're going to play nickel the whole time, so we're not making all these adjustments. And, guys have to learn 2 positions, so we didn't have the same kind of way to defend at the end, when the game was out of hand and they were throwing the ball more.
Let's take a look, Coach, at those second half highlights.
Robinson to the left side of his quarterback. Here's the snap. There's the give. He bobbled it momentarily, but he carries it in for a touchdown. And Alabama's on top by a score of 34-0. Now 2 as Jackson goes in motion to the far side. Quarterback keeper, Corral looking. Corral runs to the near side, outraces the defense, and he will take it in for a touchdown. Robbie Oots is the up man. For Robinson, looking for another TD. He finds the opening, and he's in. Touchdown again. Brian Robinson's 4th touchdown of the day. So now on a 1st and goal from the 2. Here's the quarterback. Corral rolls out and throws. Touchdown, tight end Chase Rogers.
Coach, 42-21 the final. You talked about Brian Robinson a little bit in the first half, but he finishes the game 36 carries, 171 yards, 4 touchdowns. A big part of you guys keeping the ball a lot of the game.
Right, we had 38-minute time of possession, which I think was huge. It kept them off the field. And, the other thing we struggled with last year was we struggled to stop the run. And we were in a lot of negative down and distance circumstances on defense, which now you're playing on your heels. This year they got 2.3 yards a rush, so we stopped the run a lot better, and it created a lot more positive down and distance situations for the defense. And I think that was a big difference for us in this game versus the way we played a year ago.
42-21 the final. Alabama, the victory over Ole Miss. Stay with us. We've got more coming up here on the Nick Saban Show.
The Nick Saban Show is brought to you by Tiffin Motorhomes, made to move you. And by Coca-Cola. Together tastes better.
Coach, where was the turning point for you in this one today?
Well, they had a very good drive to start the game, and we stopped them on fourth down. I think that was one of the turning points. And then they went for it on fourth down the next series, and we stopped them again. And both times we went down and scored after those fourth down stops. So I think that was the real, because now it's 14-0. It made a little different kind of game for us. So I definitely think those fourth down stops and what the offense did with the ball after that were the turning point in the game.
Coach, you've had a number of offensive coordinators during your time in coaching, but I'm going to guess you've never had one any more experienced than the one you have in Bill O'Brien.
No, Bill has a ton of experience. Has been a head coach in college, been a head coach in the NFL, but he was a very good assistant coach before that time, which is kind of what I look at in hiring guys and what kind of play callers are they, how organized are they. And Bill has done a really good job, and I think our offensive players have a lot of faith, trust, and confidence in him.
Coach, let's go Mercedes-Benz All Access with Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, I grew up north of Boston, about 20 minutes north of Boston, in a suburb, town called Andover. Parents, Ann and John, 2 older brothers. I'm the youngest of 3. Went to a Catholic high school outside of Boston called St. John's Prep, and then went to Brown University, and this is my 29th year in coaching. So got into coaching right after Brown and never looked back. Yeah, so my wife Colleen and I were married July 1998, so we've been married for a while. We have 2 sons, my oldest son Jack and my youngest son Michael. Jack just turned 19. Jack was dealt kind of a bad hand in life. He was born with what we call a brain malformation called lissencephaly, so he requires 24/7 care. He's a special little boy, and my wife is a special mom, and she's done a great job of taking care of him. And then my youngest son, Michael, is a junior in high school, just started his junior year, and a really good student and a lefty baseball pitcher, and loves the school that he's in. And so, it's a family that has a lot of love, and can't wait to see him soon. Well, I try to be myself, but I definitely have worked for some great guys, early on. I mean, I could really name them all. My first job was for a guy that I played for named Mickey Kwiatkowski, and then I worked for Mark Whipple, and then I went to Georgia Tech and worked for George O'Leary, where I was with Doug Marrone. That's where I met Doug Marrone. And then, from there, obviously worked for Bill Belichick, worked for Ralph Friedgen at University of Maryland. And I've worked for some great guys, and now having the opportunity to work for Coach Saban is another great opportunity, and what a special place to be. I think you have to be a really good communicator. I think you have to be very honest with your players in a positive way, and sometimes in a negative way. But you've got to develop a relationship with your players. You've got to be a really good staff member. You have to be very loyal to the cause and what the head coach's vision is. I think that's huge. I think communication, honesty, loyalty, being a great teacher, that's what being a great assistant coach is all about. To be a part of a program as special as this, the place that this program has in college football. When I was growing up in the Northeast, Alabama was the game that was on. You didn't have 55 cable channels and all the different football games on that you have now. So, Alabama was the game that was on. And now to be here, to have the chance, like I said, to work with Coach and to coach these players and to be a part of this staff is something that, is very special to me, and looking forward to doing my part.
Coach, what's our play of the game brought to us by CB&S Bank?
Well, this was 4th and less than 1 inside the 5-yard line. So 4th and 1 inside the 5, I'm always kind of wanting to go for it. We had actually been in, we call this black personnel. We color code our personnel. So this is big people where we have 3 tight ends and a fullback, really 4 tight ends and a tailback in the game. All right, so we'd used this motion a couple times and ran the ball over here with the lead several times already in the game. And successfully. All right, so we have a boot off of it, and it's called a slider boot when this guy comes from this side to that side. All right, this guy's pinching, this guy's got contained, this guy's got bad eyes because he's got 81. He should be looking at 81, and this backside linebacker should fall back and take the slider. All right, and none of that stuff happens. All right, they see the flow away. All right, they don't get the guy in the flat. You can see 31's looking in the backfield at the ball, so he's not looking at his man. Cam Latu does a good job of, slam releasing, running the 7. Jalil does a good job of getting to the flat, score a touchdown on 4th down.
The Nick Saban Show is brought to you by the University of Alabama, where legends are made.
Coach, this is a segment each week where we get an opportunity to learn a little bit more about one of your players, and this week it's Jordan Battle.
Well, Jordan Battle has done a phenomenal job. He's from St. Thomas Aquinas, which is actually where Kristen went to school when we were in Miami, so I got a special affiliation for those guys. But, he's a great player. He's become a leader in the secondary. He sets a really good example. Never have an issue or problem. He's never been in my office for anything. Really a good player, really a good guy, and certainly represents our university in a first-class way.
We're going to learn a little bit more now about Jordan Battle.
Jordan Battle, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, safety. My whole life, from a kid, I was playing basketball, running track, and playing football, so I've always been a tri-sport kind of guy. But I definitely wanted to play basketball, but when I got to high school, I kind of made that decision to play football. Like my freshman year. I could dunk. Yeah, of course. It's Coach Saban, man. He came to my house, spoke to me, gave me the rundown, kept it real, said I'm going to have to earn everything I deserve. So I came out here to work, and now I'm in the position I am in today. So it'll turn out to be the best decision of my life. Man, it's a whole lot of things that's special, but just the family environment, the players, the leaders before me, how they just welcome you in from day one. It's like they knew you your whole life. Just the environment, man. It's like a family here. It's a tradition. They focus on making you a man, not just a football player. So I think Alabama is doing a great job in that state. Off the field, I like to hang with some of the teammates, of course. I play the game. My favorite game is 2K. I think I'm the best 2K player in the building by far. They all think they're the best players. We used to have a guy named Melvin Billingsley, who was probably the best Madden player in the building at the time, but I think I beat him the most in the building, so I think I have the right to say that I'm the best Madden player. But that just goes to show like how we compete on and off the field. Something people don't know, or I wouldn't expect people to know. I'm a loving person. I might come off as a mean person sometimes, but I think in the end, I'm a loving person, man. I don't want to hurt. I want to make somebody smile every day. I want to make somebody's day. Just if it's a hello or a roll tide, anything like that. So, yeah. To the fans, we love you guys, and we're hoping to have that house packed every home game for you guys and play our heart out for you guys and roll tide.
The Nick Saban Show is brought to you by Aflac. Get to know us at aflac.com.
Coach, what's next? Another tough trip on the road, this time to College Station.
Yeah, well, Texas A&M's got a really good team. I know they lost their quarterback early on, but they're very good defensively. Jimbo does a great job with their offense. So this is a tough place to play, and we've had some real shootouts over there in the past. So our team has to take the 24-hour rule and kind of enjoy this one, but then so what's next? When Monday rolls around, we got to go to work. We've got to build on the things that we did well. We got to improve on the things that we did poorly and keep improving as a team. And I think, when you play on the road, I hope there were some lessons learned at Florida that our guys will be able to sustain their energy and intensity a little better.
Always appreciate your time, Coach. We appreciate you joining us, and we will see you next time right here on the Nick Saban Show, brought to you by Truckworks.
The Nick Saban Show is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Together tastes better. By the University of Alabama, where legends are made. And by Trustmark. People you trust, advice that works.